guys, we're going live. We are going
Hello.
live in 1 second. We're going to have a great conversation. Welcome to Anatomy of Marriage Radio.
You just turned into a sportscaster or
Hello,
something?
hello, hello.
You turned into like a
Hello,
politician.
Diane.
All right, let's wait a little minute for the feed to gather. It's
Good morning.
together. It's Druthers here.
I don't know what that means. Pop your questions into the feed if you've got questions. Get them answered. You can join us on Instagram Live. Ask your questions in IRL. And you can win a workbook. My throat is bothering me.
What's up, Juan? Zup.
Zup.
And IRL. That's funny. In real life, I know
Yes.
what it means. But
Good morning, T. What is the time?
morning.
Is it 7,
Word
8,
up,
9,
T.
10?
It's only 2 hours.
Good brunch time. Okay, are we ready to start?
Lunchtime? I believe so. Yeah.
All right. What? I don't know what I'm saying. What?
Hold on. What do we want to? Let's see. We are doing.
Behind the scenes.
What are the calls to actions?
The same thing that they are every time. Behind the scenes. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right. Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Marriage Radio. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
Good morning, my friends. My name is Seth Studley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today. What are we talking about?
Today we are talking about relationship going nowhere, and we have a question from a listener that we need to grab from my computer.
All right. Why don't you go grab it real
My
quick, and I
gosh.
will talk about some stuff. So, you guys like workbooks? No, nobody likes workbooks, but you do like improving your marriage and knowing yourself. So, we have a workbook. It's called the very best marriage workbook ever, and it was $24.99. You can get it now for $9.99. And we wanted to put it on sale because, hey, let's get it out there. Let's help people. So go to anatomyofmarriage.com, search the workbook, and you'll find it. You'll love it.
Awesome. And before we dive into today's episode, you guys rated and reviewed the podcast. Thank you
Yay.
so much. High fives, air fives, high fives, everybody. I could not look at that stupid review any longer, so thank you so much. And the reviews were amazing, so I'm going to read one actually.
All right, go ahead.
This says 5 stars with a heart as the title. So it says, this has brought hope back to me and my marriage. That my marriage can be saved. Every time I listen to an episode, I get a little or a big aha moment. I appreciate the transparency as Melanie and Seth relay things they've learned from past experiences, share information they've gleaned from outside resources, and even work through issues in real time. It is obvious that so much time and love has been poured into this podcast. I don't feel so alone in my messy marriage now, and that validation is incredibly motivating. Awesome.
Yes. Good.
Thank you so much for that review.
Yes, thank you. Aaron Rodgers. Not sure if this is the Aaron Rodgers for the Green Bay Packers quarterback, but if it is, word up.
Okay, thanks for... We are live on Facebook and Instagram for all of our podcast listeners, and Seth will continuously just say names and say hi. So that's what you're hearing, so no big deal.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for sending in this review. It is a blessing to us to have people share that the show is helpful. And if you want to rate and review the show, you can do that right now. Pause the show and go on iTunes.
All right.
Oh, it says, nope, it's not that Aaron Rodgers. Sorry, Seth, you're out of luck.
You're still
But
awesome.
we're glad you're here.
However, we're not going to read the question yet because we are going to talk about the 4 things that we do every single day. So, we pray, we share gratitude, we talk about intention, and then we read Get Your Marriage On questions of the day. So, all right, let's pray. Thank you, God, Creator, for your blessings. Thank you for all that you have given us and safety. I thank you for our health of our family, and I pray that this show is good for people, and it's good for us too. Thank you for blessing us in that way. Amen.
Amen. And we really encourage you to do these with your partner. So do your prayers together, your gratitudes and your intentions, and your conversation starters of the day. It's just an amazing, very, very simple way to connect every single day. And think about how many prayers we have done together by just doing this show. How many conversations, literally hundreds of conversations.
That's right. So gratitude. I'm thankful that you wrote those things out for the kids today. Scheduling out stuff. We're homeschooling, which is crazy. But
Seth got a real taste for it last Friday.
I got a big taste for it last week, and somebody said that this is not homeschooling. Homeschooling is way much funner. They said it's
Way
less,
much funner?
Yeah, it's less like stupid emails and 50 emails a day from Google Classroom. I'm thankful for teachers, but thank you for doing that as well. That's awesome. So thanks. What's up, TJ? And my intention today is to pay attention to the things you like. You said that if I want to make you happy, always have some sort of cooked meat in the fridge.
That's actually my gratitude.
Protein, right? Ground turkey, ground beef.
Proteinus medius.
Oh my, roast. So I like to cook and I like to keep you fed.
And I like to eat.
That's right.
Yes,
So,
that is actually my gratitude. And I'm glad that it's your intention, because that is a for real Like, that is a love language. Cooked meats. Cured meats.
Just like the Seinfeld episode.
I am very thankful that I thought to say it, but I'm more thankful that you actually have done it. Like, I just love being able to make a taco at any time, or like eat something cold out of the container. That's like
Right.
my favorite thing ever.
The little things that matter in relationships.
And that is one of them. So thank you so incredibly much for doing that.
You're welcome.
Again, tell your partner why you love them today and what you're thankful for them that they did yesterday.
Share your show with
dare
your
you.
partner right now. That'd be awesome.
And my intention is to be more positive today and have more like words of affirmation, positive behaviors. And I have my own internal personal experiment that I'm working on that you don't know about yet.
Really?
And I won't tell you.
Hey, that's good. Because yeah, that's good.
Anyway, Seth
All
wanted to say something, but he
let's
didn't.
get to the question.
Our question is longer to read, but we want to read the whole thing. So you want to start?
Okay,
and I'll...
stick with us. This is a good one. So, hey guys, I've been listening to your podcast since its inception. Wow, that's awesome. 3 years ago. Thanks to the suggestion from
Jeff and Aliska Bethke. Aliska.
I am not married, but in a serious relationship that until recently I thought was heading towards marriage. My partner and I are in our mid-20s and were friends before beginning dating. Since then, we've been all over the place, overall doing well, even through a long-distance period. And that is, until the topic of location came up. He feels a deep desire to live near his parents and goes so far as to say he's not sure he could survive anywhere else. This is problematic because there are very limited job opportunities for me in our current location. Start.
I've been transparent with him about this since the start, that I have made my intention clear of relocating once I finish graduate school. This conversation is always problematic and brings lots of conflict. It has gotten to the point that we can be happy and cheery and optimistic so long as we keep this issue buried, which is like living a lie. The clock is ticking and we can't avoid it, but it seems our conversations around the location topic and duty/responsibility to his parents only go in circles, rarely being at all productive. I have repeatedly suggested couples counseling to get some outside perspective and guidance since we aren't going anywhere, but he's not expressed any interest in it, although not blatantly against it either. Go ahead. I thought we'd have been engaged a while ago, but instead we have reached a stagnant plateau where our relationship is not advancing due to this topic. Marriage or engagement conversations don't even come up anymore. I don't know what to do. We both have agreed that we wouldn't be in this relationship unless there was some intention to get married. Yet, that seems taboo now because of the location dilemma. I feel somewhat guilty for not having my desire to live near my parents, and that's largely due to the fact that we have very different upbringings and family of origin issues. My relationship was the healthiest with my parents when I was not around the corner, but my partner has never lived outside of a 5-mile radius from his parents and sees it as disloyal and morally wrong not to live near and serve his parents. Part of me wants to preach, you must leave and cleave to your wife, not your parents. I don't know if I'm exaggerating my concern of his fierce loyalty to his parents that usurps our relationship. Is that a legitimate concern to have? Am I the one in the wrong because I don't have such strong ties or sense of obligation to lay everything down for my parents? Where's the balance? I appreciate any and all feedback, and I am at a loss at this point. This is an amazing question. That's why I wanted to read the entire thing. There's so many things going on in it.
If you guys have thoughts about it, throw it in the thing and join the conversation for real.
And if you have questions.
Have you guys moved away from your parents? The leave and cleave thing. Do you feel your husband is too close to your parents? Your wife is too...
Cleaver?
Leave it to Cleaver. Do you feel that way? Throw those questions in there. Throw up a like as well if you like what we're saying. So, okay, from a family therapist point of view, this, a couple of red flags comes up. But again, I don't know, so I'm not making assumptions, but this is where I would have leading conversations. So this guy thinks he couldn't survive anywhere else with his parents. That makes me think, okay, they are not only bonded together, obviously, through family ties, but there might be some, like, I don't see myself living away from my parents because I depend on them too much. They're
like enmeshment
kind of thing. My mom would just lose her mind if I moved. My dad would be mad at me if I moved. How could you do this to your mother? Kind of thing. Are you acting as an overfunctioner in your family, or is someone an overfunctioner for you? I also thought about, so I was with dated a girl in college and then after college for 5 years, right? And then I had honestly no intention of kind of getting married. I thought, yeah, I was to get married, who cares? But I was not being proactive in any sense of the word, right? And I was probably maybe acting like this guy, like, no, we're not going to do that. You know, what's the big deal getting married? But you, question person, the lady in this, is thinking that. And in my experience, more women are like, hey, where's this going? What's the deal? Sometimes guys just like to chill out. Fear of guilt, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Like I said, like his mom might be like, how can you do this to me? How can you leave? You know, you're leaving your family for a woman and all this stuff, which is not healthy. But in the previous relationship, I really wasn't thinking about marriage. Women sometimes think more about marriage. The clock is ticking, kind of thing. And I was just like, whatever. Let's just. And she broke up with me, right? Deservedly so, I think. So, which is fine. I'm not waxing poetic on like a past relationship. I'm just saying that was
liar.
No, I'm just saying that was a good example. So, oh boy, and you guys aren't even engaged yet, so this is definitely something absolutely to talk about. Somebody says, we are a military family, so we are always away from our family. I enjoy the breathing room, but I miss having support from family. Yeah,
That's
so
a very good point.
but you have like a larger mission. Like your income is based off of military jobs. Your thank you for your service, by the way, and that's bigger than this. So that is far, I think, easier or.
It's more cut and dry. It's decided for you.
Yeah, it's more cut and dry.
A couple things pop into my head as I was reading this question, and some of them. So the hard part about this is that we are sort of flip-flopped, Seth and I, in that type of thing where I have never lived. I mean, I have lived across the state from my parents, but not for very long. And I've always lived very close, partially because I love Maple Valley. I love the city that I grew up in. But Seth moved away from his family. So he has a whole different set of understandings and thoughts and feelings about it, whereas I am like, I can't move away. That would be too hard. What would my parents do? What would our kids do? Like I have more of what your husband has in this, or your boyfriend has in this conversation, where it's like, I don't know, this is too hard, I'm afraid. So the first thing that I want to point out is the statement, I couldn't survive anywhere else, is false.
Yeah,
it is not true. That statement is not true. You feel like you can't survive anywhere else. You need to buck up and realize that you can. If your parents were gone tomorrow or later today, you would survive. And you need to figure out how to find that strength within you.
Topher says, something my wife and I needed to realize very quickly is that when we got married, we became our own new immediate family.
Yes.
Everyone else is extended family now.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can think of, that sounds like fairly good boundaries. Of course, I don't know the whole story, but yeah, it's you guys now. Your traditions, your norms, and especially when you have kids, you're creating that family of origin.
And let me say that if your boyfriend listens to this, if you make him listen to this episode, I would suggest that, and I'm going to say this to the boyfriend, no partner that you have is going to like the fact that you say, I can't live 5 miles away from my mom and dad, I'll die. No one's going to like that, so don't do it.
You're bringing it, aren't you?
Well, I mean, come on.
Somebody else says, both of us, what's up, Cody, my friend? Hey.
Both of us moved away. Me to military, and her to meet school. But we are in reasonable travel times to family on both sides. We have both had different ideas of location, but found we both flourished where we both felt like we made our house a home. I was going to say, that's a very beautiful point. One of the things
grow where you're planted.
Yes, or...
right?
Something else.
Oh.
What I was going to say is, how far away works for both of you? Is that literally a deal breaker? What if we said, so we live outside of Seattle in Maple Valley. What if I was like, Seattle feels okay because it's 45 minutes from my parents, but Spokane feels bad, it's 5 hours or whatever. Like, have those conversations, literally look at a map and go, is this too far? Is this close enough? Is this too far? Is this close enough? How long of a car ride is it? How long of a flight is it? Are the jobs there good? Are they bad? So you can look at it, start answering the questions that you have literally by location is one way to do it. But the way I would really suggest, highly suggest, is having an expectations meeting. So I came up with this idea yesterday for us because
on a walk when we were talking.
We took a walk yesterday. You are going. Yeah, you like it or something else. I didn't know how to transition, and I didn't like what he said. So one of the things that we were taking a walk yesterday, trying to kind of like mindfully think about our future and what are we going to do? Are we going to do this choice or that choice? Because every choice we make has a different outcome. And so we were talking about it and thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? We need to have an expectations meeting where we literally lay out our expectations of one of the or several of the options, right? If we stay here, if we move, if we do whatever, and lay them out. Because when we don't talk about our expectations, especially for things like how many kids do we have, where do we live, what jobs do we have, what kind of car do we drive, Chrysler Town and Country, stow and go. What kind of things do we actually want in our future, and do we expect for our future? If we aren't explicitly, clearly, very, very clearly expressing these things, they're most likely not going to happen, and we're going to be embittered and mad, or point all of our frustration at our spouse.
Right.
So what I would say is, don't start the conversation, well, what do you want? What do I want? Like, none of that, because you already figured out he doesn't want to live away from his mom. Apron strings.
Yeah, that's part of it. And again, as a family therapist, that's what I'm looking at.
Not
so
super healthy.
Let's just play this out. You guys got married. You stay less than 5 miles from your parents, his parents. You're over there for Christmas. You're over there for Thanksgiving. His and their traditions become your traditions. So I'm not saying break up or anything like this. I'm saying, fast forward this 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and what do you actually think is going to happen? Because I guarantee that his expectations are going to be different than yours. Yeah. Cody says, Kayla wanted to move to the East Coast, so we compromised and moved 10 miles east.
Technically, she's closer.
You're 10 miles closer to the Atlantic.
That is really funny.
Yeah, I don't know. You said.
It worked out perfectly.
Nice try.
But I think that idea of the expectation questions and having an expectation meeting is incredibly insightful, because you actually know that, because there's so many expectations we have that we never voice. We don't think to voice them. We don't think that we need to voice them, right? So start the practice of actually saying, you know what? And I am not kidding. I was telling Seth yesterday, I said, I want a TV show, and I want to be a spokesperson for Chrysler. And I am not kidding. I said, I want to be like, what is it, Jim Gaffigan? Who is it him? He's like the Chrysler spokesperson. I want that.
The Pacifica.
Like, the Pacifica.
Oh my gosh.
I prefer a Town and Country Stow and Go. But anyway.
Right.
Or a Stone Swerve or whatever. Anyway, so literally, I want to have a 2-story house that looks like Anne of Green Gables' house. That's my expectation. In 10 years from now, I want to live on what looks like Anne of Green Gables' farm.
Right.
That's what I want. And I mean, that, seriously. So have these conversations. Why wouldn't you, right? But the other thing, too, is ask the 5 whys. The 5 whys to, I can't remember the name of the questions, but it's, why can't you live 5 miles away from your parents? Well, don't ask it like that. That sounded super mean.
Right. Why can't? No, what you can ask yourself these things, and this is I use this in therapy, actually. Why, tell me why you feel that way. Well, I don't know, my mom might get weirded out. Why do you think she might get weirded out? Because all those times growing up, if dad did something, then everybody knew it, and like we all got the silent treatment. Oh, you got the silent treatment. What?
Why did you get the silent treatment? Or
yeah,
whatever.
And then you literally dig down. You hit something, and then you keep on digging down. You hit something else, and then you dig down again. And that is such a great question. And you can ask it, not like, well, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Well, why do you think that?
To be really careful with how you ask a why question.
You can say, tell me why. I want to know your thoughts on why you believe that. And then just go
And
softly.
the same thing, it can be vice versa. So like your boyfriend can say, tell me why you want to get married now. And you can say, well, because I'm X years old and I wanted this and I want kids by this age. Well, why? And then,
because I always thought I would. Well, why did you always think? Well, because my other friends got married, and I watched TV shows that people got married.
Yeah, whatever
like
it
that.
is.
And then that digs up expectations that you've had, assumptions that you've had for a long time, and throws some light on them. And oftentimes you go, why do I think that way? I don't know. That wasn't me thinking. It was other people thinking for me. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah, or it was just family of origin. It was what I felt like I had to do based on my family of origin, which I'm guessing is more of this. Like, I can't survive anywhere else. Feels like my parents have a very much, what is that? Like, they have control over me, but I don't think they have control over me. But it's so heavy, I could never leave. Right?
Or I want to be impartial here or objective.
Not me. I'm just kidding. I apologize. I'm not being impartial.
So there can be medical issues. My mom has always had this chronic condition, and Dad's working his butt off to try to do this, and my family needs help. You know.
Yeah, and
My parents are old. They need help.
Yeah.
I can't. You know, for me, they have done so much for me. Put me through college, had nothing, and gave everything to me. I have to do that. It's kind of like how I feel towards my grandma.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I mean, she's 90 something, and
94.
it would really, I feel, a healthy obligation, a healthy loyalty to give back to her because she gave so much back to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that is balanced in some way. I don't know if it's the right thing, but I think it is.
Yeah, and I will say that lastly, before we kind of wrap up, is that something that's been on my mind a lot lately is the idea of questioning what we believe are facts, right? Question this idea of I can't survive anywhere else. Just question it. You don't have to like flip a bird at it or anything. Just question it.
Right.
Question your own known facts about yourself, your
Right.
facts about who you are.
I can't live anywhere else.
Scoff at those. Scoff at those facts. But really, like, I mean, I used to say, I could never jog. I'm not a runner. I run now. I run 45
you said you
minutes
would never
with you
travel
yesterday.
either. You said you would.
Yeah,
you know,
just
you
question
don't like
them.
Flying on a plane.
It is surprisingly healthy and good for the spirit and the soul to question some stuff in a balanced way. Not to be weirdo about it, but just question some stuff.
So yesterday we ran like 2 miles, right? And I even said to you, I was like, you have come so far in literally 3 weeks from running, and you never thought you'd be a runner. You hate running. Your knees are crunchy like fried chicken, but
Gross.
you did it and are doing it.
Yeah.
Challenge your assumptions, my man.
Question them and challenge them. So now we are moving into our questions of the day. I was at questions du jour. I wrote that down the other day.
Cue du jour.
Cue du jour.
That's pretty good.
But our Get Your Marriage On questions of the day. So we created an app called Get Your Marriage On, and it is an amazing marriage resource. We are teachers in the app. There are other teachers in the app. There are questions. There are settings you can do that are reminders. There's all sorts of amazing things in our app. And we're asking you 2 of the conversation starters today. But again, we encourage you to go check out the app at anatomyofmarriage.com, or you can get it at getyourmarriageon.com. And we're going to change the name of the app soon.
All
So
right.
there's not 2 things happening.
Ask me a question.
Question of the day number 1, which I'm going to post on our socials so that you guys will ask them with one another, is number 1. What words do I say that make you feel deeply loved? Hold on, want me to answer? Can I answer?
Yeah.
Here's the sentence that you can say that makes you feel deeply loved. There is there is ground chicken cooked for you in the fridge. I mean ground turkey.
Oh, that's the
That's
one
a
that I can
sentence
say to
that you can say to me.
Okay.
There's ground turkey in the fridge.
Yeah, there's ground turkey in the fridge.
So what words or sentence do I say to you that make you feel really loved? Keep it clean.
Well, it's not about keeping it clean or not, but it does have things to do around physical intimacy.
Okay.
And that really makes me feel loved. It's not like, oh, okay. It's
Is the sentence turn the heating pad on?
no, not really. Not that one.
That's our code word.
Well, sometimes, but because you're always cold anyway. But yeah, it's around that, and that's honestly
It's
what I
around
feel.
sex and intimacy. Do not be shy. Say it, my
Yes.
friend. Say it.
It's
So we
gonna make funny hand
don't
motions.
say it. Don't do anything weird. So that's the first question. What
Right.
words do I say that make you feel deeply loved?
Yes,
so mine is
those.
there is cooked turkey in the fridge, and yours is something about sex.
Yep.
Number 2, what was your favorite part about our wedding? For me, I loved how it looked. Like we
Yeah.
got married right across the street at a mansion golf course historical thing. It's beautiful. Everything about it was beautiful.
Yeah, the sunsets and just the setting, the whole day, the whole day of the setting, and just being, I don't know, all our friends or family were there, and it was just a lot of fun. Walking around, talking to people, holding your hand, going around and talking to people
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
I loved also the decorations. We had big vases, clear vases with sliced lemons and limes in them, and water, and like cream colored, really tidy bows, like really crisp looking, like almost like military tight looking. And I loved it. I loved our wedding so much. But anyway, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, thank you guys. Remember, you can get a free workbook on us if you join the Instagram feed and ask a question and interact with us
Live in the video.
Yeah, live with the video. And also, we talked about going to get the best marriage workbook ever. Go check that out. It was $24.99. We dropped it to $9.99. So, and we sold a lot last week, which
Yeah.
was really awesome. So, you guys need it. You want to improve your relationship, and it is such a good conversation starter.
And
Not only for yourself, your relationship, but for yourself too. It really digs deep into some of those questions.
And there's an audio version now available, right, for $4.99?
Yep,
Is that
audio.
correct? So
Yep.
you can get the audio version where I read it to you, y'all, and there's music in it.
Yeah.
So check that out at anatomyofmarriage.com. And then don't forget that you can support us on Patreon if you want to. You could visit patreon.com/anatomy of marriage. And with your support, we can keep on doing what we're doing. It says, great time to work on your marriage when you're stuck at home. That's exactly right.
Big
Ain't
time.
nothing better to do.
Listen to Melanie's voice while you're vacuuming, while you're washing dishes, while you're cutting the grass.
It'd be perfect.
Can't beat it.
But yes, and then lastly, before we head out, if you know someone who is a TV producer and wants to have a show about marriage, just let me know. Or someone at Chrysler.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we
All
love
right.
you guys.
Love you guys.
Have an amazing day.
Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.